the tie everyone wanted, the first FA Cup Manchester derby for nearly a decade.
My first FA Cup tie when I came to United 9 years ago was against City. So I remember the excitement that particular time. And
well, you just hope and pray that you can win. And if you win, then you're 2 games away from Wembley. You say it quickly, it sounds very easy.
A crowd of 42,000 you mentioned. There are 7,000 Manchester City fans, some of whom spent the night on the pavement in sleeping bags to get tickets on Thursday morning for this match. But they didn't have to wait as long as their team have had to wait for a victory at Old Trafford. 22 years to be precise, since the day Dennis Law backheeled the ball into the net to send his old club down. In fact, it's 7 years since City recorded any sort of victory over United, whereas United knew their team yesterday. City manager Alan Ball had to wait until lunchtime today to...
Be exciting, I think, this afternoon to see him with the Frenchman Cantona and make comparisons.
Well, indeed we will. City in the sky blue, playing left to right. What a match. The Manchester derby in the FA Cup 5th round, away by Irwin for United, who's playing at right back, wearing number 3. They're both double winners, these clubs. United the League and Cup double 2 years ago. City have won the prize for the double personality over the last 20 years. Wonderful one moment, woeful the next. You never know what to expect from Manchester City, but it's never dull. And Cantona just puts a foot in there straight away. Low mass for City to number 16, Nicky Summerby. Kinkladze in close support, and there's a foul by Roy Keane. That'll be the first warning of the afternoon, and this time the referee will take action. Keane is going to be yellow carded. Cantona protests, it's his first one, but it was the 3rd minute, and it was bad enough in the opinion of Mr. Wilkie to book Roy Keane.
Well, Keane saw that ball coming inside very early, and you see him there go to make the challenge there, but he did go from behind and he caught him on the top of his thigh there. I think Kinkladze dramatised a little.
This is Butt. Well, Keane must stay out of this. He's gone running up to the City player, having already been booked. Keane must stay out of it. Nothing to do with him, really, and now Quinn goes in on Keane. There's a bit of a scuffle here because the players who got involved were not the players who actually initiated the incident.
Well, I think Keane was absolutely wrong. It was nothing to do with him, and then Quinn has a moment of stupidness. He's still arguing with United players near the centre circle.
Nicky Butt was the player initially involved for United, David, over on the touchline. But it was Keane who inflamed the situation, and Alan Wilkie is calling certainly one player towards him, and he wants another one as well.
Well, it's Brown, isn't it? I think he inflamed the United supporters over there,
yes.
But I have to say Butt's challenge was rather fierce. There's nothing he could do with that ball. The play was going nowhere.
Andy Cole is booked as well. But Keane, I think, a little fortunate. And I think Keith Curle was shown a yellow card. There another yellow went up.
Suggested a match of a different nature. Cantona displayed ominous echoes of his former incarnation, while Keane was deservedly booked for this tackle on Kinkladze. Keane again got involved as Brown tangled viciously with Butt, though only Cole, Brown and Curle were cautioned from the resulting melee, as Cantona reassumed his role as peacemaker.
This is Kinkladze, and Uwe Rosler is onside. A chance for City, and he scored! City have taken the lead. It's the German Uwe Rosler. 12 minutes gone in the Manchester derby, and the 6-1 underdogs take the lead. Just look at these scenes. What a break. Rosler was put absolutely clean through by Kinkladze, in fact. He's beaten the offside, and look at the calm way in which which he beats Peter Schmeichel.
Well, it was a marvellously relaxed finish after such a frenetic onslaught in the previous minutes when Mr. Wilkie was getting his notebook out. But they were so square there with United. And Rosler took all the time in the world. He waited for Schmeichel. He showed him the goal and he lifted it over him perfectly. And it will be a massive lift, a massive lift. 10 Sky Blues in the box.
Oh, it's goal! Brilliant save. Roy Keane had the header from distance. It went through a crowd of players and Imo clawed it round the post. Brilliant. It's a corner again for the moment. Keane headed that from near the edge of the penalty area. And here he comes again, but pushing. Is it a penalty, is it? The referee spotted something there, and it looks like a penalty. There seemed to be a bit of a push. Alan Wilkie has accused one of the City players of pulling somebody onto him there, and a penalty out of nothing, it would seem, to Manchester United. They're all protesting.
Well, I have to say, whatever it was an obscure offence. Whether it prevented a goal-scoring opportunity, one will need to see again. But Mr. Wilkie, I remember giving a disputed penalty, Sheffield United Arsenal.
Let's stay with the drama with Cantona. It's in! Manchester United equalise. 39 minutes. The corner taken by Ryan Giggs. Yes, it's a pull by Michael Frontsek, isn't it? On Cantona, I think. The left back, I think, is the offender.
Well, he certainly got into a muddle, and he certainly didn't jump cleanly for the ball. There was a cross very early in the game, which Frontsek seemed to struggle with in the air. And one wonders whether he enjoys that confrontation. Cantona, no problem, cool as a cucumber. Hasn't started the game well, has the Frenchman, but that will relieve the tension, relieve the nerves. Can United settle?
I think also Alan Wilkie's gesture when he awarded the penalty, David, was the clue. He made that hand, put his arms round as if to say somebody had touched somebody else, and I think it was Frontsek, the German, who was penalised. It seemed harsh, but the referee had no doubts. It's 1-1 here in the Manchester derby. This is Giggs with the corner again. Steve Bruce is there, Cantona's here, so is Keane. That's his shot. Half-time. The half ends on a high note for Roy Keane and Manchester United, but it didn't start that way. They'd come back more into it, and this was a fizzing shot across the goal, just wide of the post, to illustrate that after Michael Frontsek was adjudged to have fouled, I think it was Cantona, to concede a penalty, United found their way back into it after Rösler had put City ahead in a storming start.
Well, what a cup tie.
And you've got to say the penalty kick was a disgrace.
A disgrace.
That's very strong words.
Yeah.
A decision that did definitely change the game. 9 times out of 10 it's not given by the referee, but I'd say we had a strong one. As a defender, you have to make contact with the person that you're marking.
Yeah, I appreciate that. The 2 arms around, one around his waist and one around his neck's a little bit too much. The incident that we're talking about, the penalty incident, came after 2 warnings to Michael for holding in the penalty area. Unfortunately for everybody else, I was the only one that saw it because of the position that I'd adopted. And I'd gone there because of the warnings that I'd given him.
We certainly were hitting our straps, and we weren't playing as well as we could, and it did give us a way back into the game.
That game was a catalyst that almost got me to resign from refereeing because of all the hate mail and the various bits and pieces that came through the post.
As soon as you went to the field, it's blue and red. That is it. Supporters can feel it. You can sense that the players feel that there's been a wrongdoing as well. And then you know that you're going to Man United and you're trying to hang on. Yeah, I think if you'd have got two at half time, being 1-0 up, you'd have felt great about yourselves. You're 1-0 up at Old Trafford, and you'd have been a lot happier in the dressing room as it was. I think it was something like 5 minutes before half time. I think we got the penalty, so all of a sudden this gave us a lift, and we.
What did you see of it, Fiat? We'll have another look at it. I think they're extremely unlucky to be given it, but I mean, if technically you were saying if that sort of touch in the penalty area when people are looking for a ball and you do this, which is going miles over your head, there's bound to be contact of some kind. But it was nowhere in relation to the ball. That's the point, really, that Alan's making.
If the penalty kick hadn't been given, there would have been absolutely no protest whatsoever from the Manchester United players.
The ball was miles away, but now we're looking forward to the second half. David Pleat, John Motson are your men.
Well, the plastic raincoats out in the crowd because we've had quite a downpour during the interval. The ground staff have been busy forking the pitch, and the team's out with no changes. And just a refresher on the bookings, we've got 5 players now on yellow cards in this match. Irwin, Keane and Cole of United, Curl and Brown of City. This is Giggs. Keane. Alistair. Giggs against Summerman. Oh, and the pullback might find Sharp. Lee Sharp gives Manchester United the lead for the first time in the game. "77 minutes gone, and Old Trafford responds to a break on the left, which was set up by Ryan Giggs. There was a good overlap, I think it was by Neville, and as the ball came across the box, pulled back, Sharp hit it first time.
Fine play, Giggs held it just long enough to release Neville, not to get into an offside position, and there was a quality cross. You saw him look up, he didn't play it across the goal, he played it backwards, so the City defenders were retreated towards the goal line, and Sharp hits that unerringly into the net. That was the mark of a confident finish.
Well, he got the winner against Blackburn last week, didn't he? And here comes City on the counter-attack. Good play by Kincladze in there, but not good enough. Now then, but the referee stopped it anyway. The Manchester derby goes United's way. Having gone a goal down to Uwe Rösler, Alec Ferguson's team come back to go through into the 6th round. A controversial penalty provided the equaliser. A splendid finish by Lee Sharp provided the winner. And after all City's efforts, they go off still having not won at Old Trafford since 1974. Manchester United go off knowing that they're through to the 6th round of the FA Cup.
Ball's dismay, not the drama of the winning goal, dominated the post-match analysis. The manager's disappointment was shared by his players.
15 bodies in there all jostling for the ball, and for the referee to see something so clearly, must have good eyesight.
Goals change games, and it changes people, it changes crowds, it changes everybody. That goal gave them the biggest lift they could possibly have got because it was a present.
Oh, Jim, do you go along with that it was an extraordinary decision?
It was an extraordinary decision. I thought it was a terrible decision, Bob. I don't think the referee should have given it at all. I mean, the ball's in the air, the players are grappling.
It was about 15 feet above them.
Yeah, you see that several times in any game. And although Michael Frunzek was silly to put his arm around Cantona's shoulder, I don't think he tried to impede him in any way. And
there were no complaints, were there? They weren't appealing for anything.
Cantona was astonished, so was Frunzek. Indeed, I think every other player on the pitch was too.
Do you think that penalty took the wind out of City's sails?
Well, absolutely, Bob, because